sir, who have given us opportunity to meet in one place. And also they had gone to tough times recently, and still they're continuing. That's the time when we really face, and this knowledge comes to help of us. We all prayed sincerely for whatever the well-being, and I think now the tide has settled. I also thank Arundhati. She is doing so well, and I have to just relax and come to the class. This is not a Thanksgiving. Today's not 24th of November, but I thank each one because we forget to thank. Then I also, she is doing such a beautiful summaries. Ultimate. I myself could not have done like this. Even after 10 years in this line, even many of our sadhakas who are in 10 years, they can't do such a beautiful summary. You can see her, she's managing with the kid. It's impossible. I don't know how she does it. But it is really, we are all thankful to you. Secondly, this our Divya and Aarti, they are fantastically, they are now slowly giving us that small taste of quiz, which actually makes us much more, we revise it. Even though it is one quiz, simple quiz, we have the doubts, right? So thank you very much. Divya is not there today, but my regards to her also. And madam, she's very straight and she's asking questions from the day one. I've seen that, she has no hesitation to ask like a child, that innocence, and that really the questions are our questions, all of us. Sirs every time bringing up the similarities between Tirukural and our Bhagavad Gita. It is amazing. It is really great to know Tirukural also and how it is connected to Bhagavad Gita. Chandrasekhar sir with his stories. And I'm always fascinated with the couple. Whoever comes as a couple, it is super. I can't imagine when will I sit with my wife in the Bhagavad Gita class. It's amazing to have a couple in a class. Yes, sir. Together only, sir. Sir, couple, sir. Sir, this witty thing also is very thankful because the seriousness comes down. It's good. And the most beneficial is our Selva Kumari. She makes every arrangement. She will carry the books. So Punya. So the Punya will go to such people. And the new one who are the new people who have joined and still they are continuing. Thanks to them. Yeah. That's what she is the not youngest, but yeah. So we are very thankful to each one of you. And I thank myself that I am also coming. I am able to come from there on Monday. So if I have forgotten anyone, it is I don't think so I've forgotten anyone, but whoever is there. Nagaraj also is very yes. He also makes time. He sees that if he has any question, he will write to me. So thank you, Nagaraj is the youngest. Youngest I cannot say now. Youngest is that fellow. Nagaraj, your youngest is gone. We have Advik. Okay, and we thank Advik also. Very sincerely is coming from last 1 month. 6 classes is attended. And today you will see the proof today. Okay, we'll start the class. We will not chant. He is chanting and after that we will chant. Yes. He chanted alone, so we clap for him. So without Guru Vandana, we cannot have any classes, and we are very thankful to both of them. We are having a retreat next week. I will meet personally, I'll be with the Guru and his teachings, and that's the best way to bond and learn much more fast. I also mentioned if anyone wants to come, they can join. So please, Archit.
Dharma yoga is incomplete without jnana yoga. Jnana yoga is impossible without karma.
Yes. This is the bottom line of third chapter. Yes, sir.
Shreyam svadharmo vigna.
Shreyam svadharmo vigna.
Pradharma swanishtitat.
Pradharma swanishtitat.
Swadharme nidanam shreya.
Svadharme nidanam shreya.
Paradharmo bhayavaha.
Pradharmo bhayavaha.
Once more.
Yes, sir.
Six, sir. The six.
One's own duty improperly performed is better than another's duty properly performed. Even death in one's own duty is better. Another's duty is dangerous. So Krishna here concludes here by saying, Arjuna, you have to go according to your prakriti only. Arjuna's prakriti is Rajoguna prakriti. So it is natural to have active thoughts, and also your life is activity oriented life. The activities basically here can be adharmic and dharmic. Whenever there is a tendency for adharmic activity, you have to nip it in the bud. Whenever there is a tendency for dharmic activity, you have to follow that. You have to respect your prakriti and you have to respect dharma also. Example, road rules. You can choose your destination where you want to travel, but you have to follow the rules on the way to your destination. If it is a one way, you have to follow it one way. Keep left, everything you have to follow that. Your travel is conditioned here by two things, your desire and your road rules. Here, your desire represents your prakriti and the road rules represents the dharma. Similarly, your life journey should be governed by two principles. Your own personal desires, svabhava, that is your own nature, and also what is dharma. So this is called as svadharma. Krishna says svadharma is important, even if it is not perfectly performed. Imperfectly performed svadharma is better than a perfectly performed paradharma. Paradharma is another's duty. Example, there is a story. The owner of a huge house, he wants to travel to a place. When he was ready to leave, the watchman comes running, telling that he had a dream that the plane he's going to travel is going to crash. It's just an early morning dream. But the person also had a belief that the early morning dreams will come true. So he cancelled the travel plan. And the dream also came true, the plane got crashed. The owner got saved because of that. So the watchman thought that he'll be gifted with money. The next day, as usual, the owner called him. He gifted him with the money. And he thought he'd be happy. But the owner also said, I'm going to dismiss you. The watchman was wondering, I saved his life. Why is he dismissing? He said, it is a dream. So it is a perfect example for paradharma. It is not the dharma of the watchman to sleep and have a dream. So he was dismissed. Yeah. And Krishna says, Swadharme Nidanam Shreya. Even death in Swadharma is welcome. It's okay. Whereas Paradharmo Bhayavaha. So Paradharma is dangerous for oneself and it is harmful for the society also. Paradharma in the stories. Swadharma is doing your duty purposely, or even if it is imperfectly performed, it's okay. But doing another's duty perfectly is also wrong. Yeah, another's duty. Example here is, if one person jumps off the signal, even though the next person is not interested, people behind him force him to jump off the signal and go ahead. So there is a total chaos. So one person violates the Swadharma, everybody violates the Swadharma. So there is a lot of confusion in the society. And therefore it should be avoided. So Krishna here concludes by saying, Arjuna, your Swadharma as a Kshatriya is fighting a Dharma Yuddha. That's all. With this Karma Yoga topic is over. Thank you.
So one of the most beautiful verse in third chapter is this. And this explains, as sir last time told, Prakriti. Or Prakriti, we can become Brahmana, Shudra, Kshatriya, and Vaishya. But Prakriti is one and Dharma is another thing. Now, svadharma for us as a grahastha is to do our duties, household duties, everything what is required. Paradharma is when you are in household duty, you are thinking about sannyasa. That's what Arjuna was doing. He is in a fighting war place. He's thinking about sannyasa. That's why the chapter started, right? So he is coming to the end of the chapter. So he's telling you have to do your svadharma, even though it is not perfect. It may not be perfect. You might get defeated, but you have done your dharma, swadharma correctly enough. But never do Paradharma, which is go for sannyasa when you are supposed to fight, even though it will be perfect. He might be a very good sannyasi after going from there, but then you have lost the battle. That is one thing. Now, contemplating this knowledge to our life. You see any birds, any animals, perfect dharma, they are doing swadharma. Have you seen hypertension in animals? Now, sir will tell, have you checked it? Okay, that is our intellectual understanding. But sometimes, yeah. So what I'm saying, diabetes, any bird you have seen dead on the road because paralysis, never ever. They are doing perfect swadharma. They have to nurture the child. It will fly away. They will make another nest. This goes till they die. Nature is always in harmony. Nature is so much to learn. Now coming to our nature, our home. Each and every time, one will interfere in other dharma. The child will interfere in father dharma. Father will interfere in someone else dharma. In short, it is gossip. So you will never like to do your dharma. You'll always find faults with someone else and try to make it corrected. Paradharma, you want to make perfect. For in our doctor's life, you will see that doctor has given prescription. This doctor will say, "Eh, he might not be ENT. He might be other surgeon, but he will say ENT doesn't know properly. Paradharma, he might be correct also, but you do your job correctly. If each one of us follows the nature and the law of nature, just like there is a, she said about the signal. If you follow the signal in life, the signal is dharma. We should know my dharma. There was a question someone told, my dharma, what it is. If I'm following this way, is it correct? You will know yourself. Your inner self knows what is right. The most drunkard fellow, he will come and he will press the bell of his own house. He will not go to the neighbor's wife. Whatever drunkard he is, you check it in your, ask someone nearby who is drunkard, he will go to his house only. That inner conscious will take him to his place only. So your inner conscious will tell your swadharma correctly. But you have to have not to interfere with paradharma. Don't go and press the bell, even perfectly of others, neighbors' door. If we can do that, I'm telling you, the transformation will happen. The knowledge will get transformed. Swamiji is telling very beautifully in one of the talks. What is Vedanta? Entire nutshell is four things. One is seek it. So seek, then you get imbibed in it. Okay, you get soaked into that whatever is with your self efforts, and finally enjoy it. Because what are you all seeking for? You are seeking your own higher self. Your higher self means Atma. Where is it? Is it kept at home? Is it in the car? It is here and now, and it is always there. So what are you seeking actually? You have to just claim it. So first, start your efforts towards it. Try to seek it, endure it, absorb it, and finally you'll enjoy it. So this is what the verse is excellent verse. I think again and again we should, and she got the first verse like this, and she did very well. Thank you. 36.
So before I start this verse, the first time I read this itself, I was like, yes, this happens to everyone every day. Because every day we have to make a lot of choices. And at least we believe we are making the right choice, but sometimes even knowingly, we just have to probably choose the what is adharmic or what even we know that is not right, but the situations are probably I think it happens to okay, it happens to me. So sometimes though I know it is not right, I might be in a position to choose make some bad decisions. So as soon as I read this, I felt like okay, yes. So Arjuna Uvacha अतकेन प्रयुक्तोऽयम् पापं चरति पूरुषः अनिच्छन्नपि वाष्णेय बलादिव नियोजितः Arjuna asked, "O Krishna, then prompted by what does this person commit sin, even though unwilling, as though he is forcibly persuaded?" Here, Arjuna is asking Krishna, when everybody knows what is right and what is wrong, then why are people doing something wrong? Is somebody forcing them, or why is there some external thing which is forcing them to do something that is not right? So here scripture presents which course of life is favorable and which course of life is not favorable. When we read our scriptures itself, we can know what is the right path. So, so in spite of that, why people are not following the right path. And scripture presents karma yoga is healthy and violation of karma yoga is spiritual destruction. We are blessed with discrimination power. We know what is dharma and what is adharma. Our buddhi itself knows which is right and which is wrong. So here, actually, Swamiji quotes Dayananda Swami, where he says, every human knows what are the do's and don'ts. Even a thief knows when that stealing is wrong. That is why he is doing it secretly. So ignorance of values is not a problem. Actually, even a thief, Swamiji says, when a thief goes to steal, when nobody is there, the thief also knows that what he is not doing is not right. That is even, I had a teacher who always used to say, when we were small, probably in first grade or second grade, the teacher used to say, see, when you are ready to do that in front of everyone, at least 5 or 6 people, then what you are doing is right. If you are not ready, if you are not willing to do that in front of even one person, then what you are doing is not right. So like that, everybody knows karma yoga, everybody knows dharma, everybody knows the values. I know it is wrong, but I cannot avoid that. Sir, actually, at this juncture, I had, yeah, we know this, but practically so many times, it is not difficult, it is not easy to
Yes,
follow that, sir.
because of your position.
Yes, sir. So,
You can just pray to God that situation should ease out, or you take a time, or if you can be away out of it, if you can, hand over to someone which you should not be done, or if you can correct, nothing like it. So many options are there. The choice is yours. But Swamiji says, like speaking untruth.
yes, sir.
Again, choice. You can be silent.
So,
Because if you can't say truth, then you better be silent like that. So you might be keeping silent and let it happen. What to do?
so here Duryodhana says beautifully, I know what is dharma, I am not able to follow it. I clearly know what is the adharma, but I exactly religiously do that only. Some 2-3 weeks back, Dr. Madam and I, we met a friend. She is a very nice lady, but she was telling us, we were telling you come to Bhagavad Gita class, she was telling, well, we know everything, we know what is right, and we don't like to follow that. So I don't want to come. So we were just for fun, she was telling, but she is very busy at her house, sir, but she was telling, there's no time.
So you are telling Duryodhana.
So,
See, these characters you don't have to see in
that time already available, ready-made available. The parents who are trying to protect the children, even if they're doing wrong, is what?
Yes, sir.
Dhritarashtra. They are not doing, the character is there. The mother also trying to follow the father, even though advice is wrong, she is Gandhari. She's put the, even though she can see, she has put that fellow is blind from birth.
Yes, sir.
The father, as soon as the child is born, he is blind to the child. So we don't have to go to Mahabharata time. Today, Kali Yuga, you can see many such people. Very few we have Krishna, Arjuna. So we are all Arjunas, but that's for sure.
At least we are not Duryodhanas, sir.
Definitely we are not.
Yes.
Definitely we are not. 1 year it is proven.
So some people think God himself is making me do that. I think I have quoted this few months back. One of our friends, he meet regularly. So we were telling at least reduce it to once a week or something. He says, yes, I want to, but whenever that smell comes, I'm asking God, why are you inducing me to eat that? Why are you making me, I'm literally salivating. So why is God making me do that? So like that, some people think God himself is making me do that. Everything is done by God. So keeping in mind the above proverb.
That is
people
called
think-
justification trap. First chapter we saw, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A justification trap. That the situation is happening. What can I do? I have to run away. I have to do this. So every human being is falling in his own trap of justification. The day when you surrender to God, he's telling about the God, no?
Yes, sir.
You tell him in reality, the God within you wants meat or your tongue wants meat. It stops there only. I told you the example. I stopped. And it doesn't happen slowly. Don't advise slowly. Nothing happens slowly. It happens or doesn't happen. That's it. It happens. Slowly means he will take 1 janma, 2 janma. That also slowly, no? That better him let him eat. He or she. Okay.
Keeping in mind the above proverb, people think God is supposed to make everyone do different action. God is making me violate. Some people think devil is making me violate.
Yes.
Some people think it is a stars, especially Sani Bhagavan or any planets.
Yes, yes.
We have students in college also, sir. They'll commit a lot of misbehavior. The parent will tell, Ashtama Shani.
Yes, yes, yes. So that's why Shani Amavasya full of Anjaneya is completely crowded. He is suffocating. Shani Amavasya is full. Other days only myself, like you and Shani, Anjaneya, that's it. 9 o'clock you go, one old man is sitting, I am sitting. I have stopped going in the daytime, that time now. Chumma waste, you go there and you feel crowded. Now, I know the correct time is, sir said 9:30. Only Anjaneya and myself. Peace and peace.
So, an extra force is determining my actions, or is it the force within myself? Arjuna wants to know why people take to adharma. What is the cause? Is there any method of transformation? Persuaded by which unseen force does a human being commit adharma? Even though everyone innately wants to be a noble person, they commit adharma against his own will. Even I have a niece when she was some 2.5 years old. She used to love pizza. So morning she wakes up, says, I want only pizza. So her mother told you can get it only once in a week. So she was telling her it is not good. See, and every time she ate, she used to get stomach upset, yeah, stomach upset. So she was telling, see, you are struggling so much. Why do you? I don't know, mom. Somebody is forcing me to eat. Somebody is making me eat that. So like that, people start to question the existence of free will because he wills to lead a particular way of life which he is not able to. People who say everything is determined by some other factor are called fatalistic people. People who accept the will say that the will is so feeble that in front of all these extra forces we are helpless. Arjuna asks Krishna to explain the reason why, as though forced by some external force, people act in life.
Hari Om.
Hari Om, sir.
You are still thinking.
Yes, sir. Because I am thinking for the past 2-3 weeks actually.
So you got the right verse.
Yes, sir.
So see, I think it is very simple. I told before the start of the class, why why are not able to follow spiritual path? Because it is easy to follow the other path, materialistic path. Simple. The answers are given, it will come. I don't want to unfold here, but the answers are now slowly going to be given. Okay, that is seven. Yeah.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
Shri Bhagavan
Kamayesha Krodayesha.
Kamayesha Krodayesha
Rajoguna Samudbhavaha.
Rajoguna Samudbhavaha
Mahashano Mahapapma.
Mahashano Mahapapma
Viddayena Viha Vairinam.
Vidyayena Vairinam.
Two classes are going to start after this. One is Arundhati's class and one is Vidya's. So already everywhere he speaks about Bhagavad Gita. The two shoots of this class is going to happen. I am seeing them. Very good.
The Lord replied, it is this desire, it is this anger, it is born of Rajoguna. It is insatiable and sinful. Know this to be an enemy in this life. So in the previous verse, Arjuna questions Krishna, persuaded by which unseen force does the human commit adharma? Which enemy prevents us from following dharma? So Krishna is asking his doubt to Lord Krishna. Sorry, Arjuna is asking his doubt to Lord Krishna. Now Krishna answers the question. So he says there's no external devil or there's no external force which makes us do all these things. And he tells what is the reason which is making human beings do this. So the force is not external, it is within us, which is the ajnanam, which is the ignorance of the self. So ajnanam can be classified to two levels, like even the previous class, Sir has explained, which is dharma, adharma, ajnana, and atma, anatma, ajnana. So dharma, adharma, ajnanam is initial level, and atma, anatma, ajnanam is higher level. So first we should know to classify between what is dharma and adharma. So this adharma, ajnanam divides itself into two forces, which is kama and krodha. Kama is desire and krodha is anger. So in this verse and the coming verses, Krishna is going to discuss about the problem of kama and krodha, kama krodha swarupam, the source of kama and krodha karanam, the remedy of kama and krodha. So kama krodha parihara, what we should do. So Esha kama, this desire which you feel in your mind intimately. So this kama is desire. Why is Krishna saying as Esha kama means it's not something that somebody from externally puts you in your mind or something like that. Even when a baby is born and as he grows up, right? Like say Advik is here, he sees a balloon, automatically he gets the desire to get it. Nobody tells him that you should have this balloon or something.
And if
like
studies are there, Advik? Studies?
Huh?
When books are there, study books? Study the? Oh, very good. That desire also is good.
Yeah. He likes to ask stories. He wants many storybooks.
Very good, very good.
So that's why Krishna said, Esha Kama. It is felt in our mind intimately. Nobody has to put it from externally. And Esha Krodha, and this anger which you feel intimately. So nobody has to teach you anger. It comes automatically. Even a 2-month, 3-month, or a 6-month-old child, if you don't give a toy to them, they will get angry and start crying. So it comes naturally to humans. So Rajoguna Samudbhavaha. Both of them are born out of Rajoguna. And what is the characteristics of these Kama and Krodha? Mahasanaha, insatiable and devouring. It doesn't get satisfied. It doesn't give you fulfillment. It keeps on increasing both this desire and anger. And so because of this, Lord Krishna calls this as Mahapapma. So anger and desire, both these things, right? Lord Krishna calls this the biggest sin. So Enam Vairinam Vidhi.
Know this to be your enemy in life. So Krishna calls Kama and Krodha as the biggest enemy in our life. So this is the answer to the previous question. Next slide. So yeah, desire or anger need not be taught, but are automatically felt in mind intimately. No way of fulfilling desires. It keeps growing like fire. So, for example, if there is a forest, a small fire, if it catches, right, it starts expanding and expanding, and it can destroy the whole forest. So that similar, it's so similar to the desire. We will start getting some small desire. First, we might want to have some 100 rupees or 1000 rupees, then it will grow to 1 lakh, then we will want 10 crores, then we want to become a minister, then we want to become a CM, and it goes on and on, and it
PM.
never ends. So, yeah. All desires are expression of one basic desire. What is that? I am not complete. Apurnaha. So we don't feel fulfilled whenever we get something. Say when we want 100 rupees or 1000 rupees, and when we get it, we don't get fulfilled. Immediately we want something more the next. So we feel apurnaha. We try to become complete by fulfilling the materialistic desires, and this is never going to happen. So Swamiji says finite plus finite can never become infinite. And also anger makes a person violent both verbally and physically. And he calls this as Mahapapam. We have seen that Kama, Krodha, and Lobha are 3 gates to hell in chapter 16, in verse 16.21. Trividam Naraka Sedam, Dwaram Nasanam Atmanah. Kama, Krodha, Tatha, Lobha, Tastasmade, Trayat, Tyajet. So desire and anger are the 2 enemies, which are like 2 sides of a coin. So இங்க வந்து பார்த்தோம்னா காமா அண்ட் குரோதன 2 இத சொல்லிருக்காரு லார்ட் கிருஷ்ணா. ஆனா இத வந்து சிங்குலரா தான் மீன் பண்ணிருக்காரு. He is not telling it as a plural because desire and anger has the same root. When you get desire, and if you're not able to fulfill your desire, you get angry. So desire obstructed gets converted to anger, and fulfilled desire gets converted to greed. So intensity of desire is directly proportional to intensity of anger. The more you desire, the more angry you will get. Hari.
Very nice. I don't have anything to say. I was going to tell about that 16.21st verse, which actually we know the 3 doors to hell. And hell means not have to die. In front of the wife, just be angry. You will directly go to hell. Or vice versa. If you get angry in front of your relatives or near one, greed, lust may not be seen, but over a period of time, it will take to hell only. So these 3 doors of, and the next verse after 16.21 also is good, that how to come out of it in 16 if we have learned. So anyway, we'll take this one more verse.
Here we are going to discuss on how desire weighs our mind on knowledge. So this knowledge is covered by that desire in such a way, and here Krishna is giving 3 examples: the way how fire is enveloped by snow, as mirror is covered by dust, and peaches is enveloped by the snow. So we all know knowledge of what is right and what is wrong is called discrimination. And this discrimination resides in our intellect. However, lust is such a challenging enemy that it clouds the discriminatory ability in our intellect. And Sri Krishna gives 3 grades of example to illustrate this. So fire, which is the source of light, gets covered by smoke. This partial obscuring is like a thin cloud of that sattvic desires create. And a mirror which is naturally reflective gets obscured by dust. This semi-opacity is like masking impact of rajasic desire in our intellect, and an embryo gets concealed in the womb. This complete complication is like the consequences of tamasic desire threatening the power of discrimination. So this analogy of parallel of smoke, dirt, and amnion employed in this verse is intended to show that it is desire itself which veils the spiritual light of man by transforming itself into threefold of evils: impurity, distraction, and obscuration. So we have three examples to describe how desire can veil of knowledge. So Krishna says desire causes problem by blunting, like we lose our discriminating power, reasoning power, and thinking power. So a person who's obsessed with desire cannot think, and that is why we use the word blinded by karma. One should have discriminative power to know the relative priorities of life. And this Viveka Shakti is like a charioteer, and it guides our life, which is full of choices. And how does desire cover the discriminative power? Here Krishna gives three examples. The first example is smoke covering the flame of fire. So Agni has got the brightness to illumine the place around. So it has got enlightening power, so is our knowledge and our self-realization or soul realization. Here the smoke represents the evil distraction and restlessness. And just as the smoke, though unsteady, covers a fire, even so the evil of distraction, which is of the nature of restlessness, with the knowledge. So for until the mind has become calm and steady, knowledge cannot light up, and it remains dormant, inactive, and hidden. So when the soul's pure nature is hidden behind sattvic good attributes, as a fire covered by smoke, the smoke screen is easily dispersed by a strong breeze of discrimination, and knowledge soul realization may take place, resulting in immense bliss. So this is the slightest form. Sattvic desires can be veiled away, and the knowledge we can move towards knowledge. The second example is mirror being covered by dust. And when the mirror is covered by dust, you cannot just fan it and remove. You have to bring a cloth and wipe. Sometimes you have to bring a wet cloth and wipe. Sometimes you have to even rub it. And if it is hardened, so it is a little bit more difficult and extra effort is needed. So when the mind gets soiled with impurities in the form of sin, it is no longer able to reveal the true nature of things or point out our duty. That is why with an impure or sinful mind, one cannot correctly judge things for oneself. When the Rajasic qualities dim the soul's splendor as dust obscures the mirror, one needs to cloth of continuous right effort to wipe off the ever-cumulative covering selfish desires producing activities. So sattvic desires, just like a breeze, it might just move off. But when it is Rajasic, it is continuous and we have to consciously work towards to eliminate it. In other words, it is more difficult to remove the thick Rajasic layer of restless, active, selfish desire from the soul than it is to disperse the smoke of sattvic qualities. The third example is as the embryo in the womb, the divine aspect in us is screened off by the low animal appetites and vulgar desires for the sensuousness. This is the tamasic desires we are talking about. The veiling is complete. It can drop off only after a definite period. So with a breeze or just rubbing out, if the tamasic qualities will not leave us, it will take its own time to veil out. Similarly, the desires for the carnal flesh enjoyments build as it were the womb around the discriminative power in us, and such low mental preoccupations can drop only after the longer period of evolutionary growth undergone by such a deluded mind and life. So when a tamasic attributes are paramount, then it is the soul becomes very quiet and calm in silence. Therefore, covered by the smoke, fire cannot do what it has to. Covered by the dust, the mirror cannot do what it has to. Covered by the womb, a child cannot do anything. So in the same way, covered by desire, buddhi cannot do what it has to. What it has to do is think, and you should discriminate your things. So similarly, the desires are also three types. Those desires which can easily be eliminated is the Viveka Shakti, is the Sattvic ones. Only Viveka Shakti will not be enough for Rajasic, as it has to go through the fulfillment of those desires. So Rajasic is you have to experience it. You you have to go through it and then you have to come out of it. When the desire is so intense, you can never talk about the evil of desires. You have to allow the person to remain and hope that one day he will grow out, or it might take even many births to realize that main goal of life is to realize the God in them and move towards it.
This is but very simple to understand that we are having three natures, Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic, right? It is always a mixture. Now, if we are Tamasic, the desires are Tamasic. It is like that so many 10, 9 months of the womb in a dark space, it has to take 9 months to come out. The soul is covered into so many things, flesh. And then after coming out, it is not going to immediately realize itself. So tamasic nature is going to be very harmful. So completely avoid it. Tamasic desire means what? Harming someone else. Not only us, harming someone else. Completely avoid it. It takes longer time to take it out. Desires means even thoughts, not that you really do it. Second is Rajasic desires, like the mirror dust. Now again, it is difficult, but you can make it clear. Again, it will take time, depending upon how much Rajasic desire you have. You might achieve one goal, but you have to come out of it. You have to clear all that goals and come out of it. Now even Sattvic is telling, imagine we all want to be Sattvic, but Sattvic desire also is not good. It will like just you blow a fan on the Yagna Kunda, they have a fan, small fan. The smoke will go and fire will lit. But Sattvic desire is also like a cloud or fog on the fire. That also is not good. So then what has to be done? That question will come, right? What should we do? So ideally, desire should be zero. But it's not possible in the Vyavahara Jagat. It's not possible. But long back in Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampanna, the only desire which we want to have is desire of getting liberated, free. And then entire, we know, if you want to get moksha, follow the path of dharma, align your karma or desires, artha kama to this dharma. So you have to go backwards. Like if you do a PhD and or you want to have a, don't start with the aim. The goal is in the mind, moksha, the end is in mind. All other is travel. Align your travel. Dharma falls in the form what is for moksha. Artha and kama, the necessity and desires will follow it. So then we come to your basic again, karma yoga. Karma yoga is Ishvara Arpana Bhava, Ishvara Prasada Buddhi. No desires will be remaining. Okay. So this is a very important verse. The last three verses are very heavy. Shravanam has happened. Now go back and mananam for 5 minutes, 10 minutes and follow it. Okay, with that we will end. Om
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Hari Om.